Hello and welcome to Coffee with Carey. So I think I named this episode Everyone Wants You If You Have. And what this is based on is a study that I read based on 9 separate studies. So they call that metadata, I think. And it's based on studies out of the US and Australia combined. And they were looking at 4 traits versus their opposite trait that people find most desirable both for partnership and in their own spouse. So this included people who were married and what they think was helping their marriage to last. So it was across lines of both dating and marriage and single people, but the most desirable trait in a partner. I thought that was super interesting and that we could talk about that today. And before we get started, if you're new, I'm Carey. I'm a matchmaker, a dating coach, and this here channel is about dating and relating, all conversations about those things because that's my area of expertise. What am I going to talk about? Making bread? I've never made bread in my life. Heads up, the first one is agreeable, and that's what's on the agenda. I hope you'll stick around. First, I should mention that I'm going to share just what the statistics shared are the top ones, and I've got some insight as to how they're applicable to clients. If a story is triggered, I'll share that. Everyone wants you if you are agreeable versus somebody who is arrogant, somebody who is selfish or mistrusting. That is the number one answer, agreeableness, which is somebody who's nice, somebody who's kind, somebody who isn't a drama queen or a guy causing problems, looking for trouble, no Debbie Downers, Davy Downers, whatever you call each other. What I'm going to do is share with you what these traits are, what these traits are not, and what you can look for in people that you are dating or in a relationship with that will cue you in as to which of these traits the person has, the one that's most desirable or the one that is less desirable. And what you want to be looking for to find somebody who is agreeable is somebody who doesn't have drama, somebody who is amicable with their exes. I know some of you think that's a negative based on comments on episodes about exes, but I believe with my whole heart, I agree with this, that people who have nice relationships with people they've cared about before are just good, kind people. Just because something didn't work out romantically doesn't mean you treat somebody like dirt or drop them from your life if it works out that you can continue to include them in your life in a different way. With that being said, you want somebody who you don't have to walk on eggshells, that is not a person who gets upset easily. They are laid back. They are easygoing. They are understanding. And that would be number 1. Number 2 was surprising to me. It was that people want somebody who's highly extroverted. And I think there's some subcategories to this that I would agree with are very desirable to a lot of people. But the fact that they've labeled it as extroversion is interesting to me because I think of extroversion as opposed to introversion, but there are some people who are introverted who are very outgoing. And what this is typically talking about is they want somebody who's energized by other people, somebody who wants to go out and do things. Who would not be in this category of desirable extroverts are super homebody people who never want to go do anything, who are content to stay in and chill constantly. They don't want to go and experience new things, which is everybody's must-have these days. In fact, my experience is that every divorced man that I talk to every week will tell me that he wants somebody who wants to go do stuff. And that's how he describes it. So if they're calling that extroversion, then so be it. But read in between the lines there and know that people want to continue having experiences even after the age of 50 or 40 or 60. It seems to me that there aren't anybody who is coming to a matchmaker or a dating coach saying they want somebody to sit and watch TV with or So if you are sitting rocking on the front porch and that's your desire to find somebody to do that, probably going to be more challenging than if you're a person who's constantly on the go trying to learn new things. I'm still rocking. Energized people who want to do stuff. That's number 2. Number 3 of the most desirable traits that everybody would want to be with you if you fall into this category as opposed to its opposite is low neuroticism. And that means the opposite of people who are neurotic. So this would be somebody who, it's hard, this one's a little bit more difficult because it's in the negative. It's low something else. So you'd be looking for somebody who is not depressed, who is not anxious. Some of us have these problems, but hopefully they are under control either through therapy or medication or other ways that people handle challenges in their life. People who are regularly experiencing negative emotional states are less desirable than people who are not. So what you would be wanting to look for in a partner, if that is also your desire, or you're trying to focus on more positive aspects of your own qualities to be a great partner to somebody, you would be looking for somebody who experiences quite a bit of happiness in their life, who has contentment and is not always angry at something or bitter about something or experiencing things negatively, a glass half full person, pessimism. So low neuroticism is obviously more attractive to people than people who are more neurotic. And that seems pretty understandable. And 4th on the list of the most positive traits is somebody with high conscientiousness. This is somebody who has follow through, somebody who tells you they're going to do something and then they do it. The opposite, somebody who's flaky, somebody who makes plans and doesn't show up, somebody who ghosts you. You can see how easily it is to feel negatively about its opposite. This person is typically on time, their bills are paid on time, their responsibilities are taken care of, and they tend to pay attention to and care for their own belongings. Those are a few ways you would recognize somebody with that trait. These people are not careless. They are not irresponsible. And I think one great way to quickly determine which type the person you're seeing now might be is to look at their car. If they are both somebody who cares about the things they own and take care of things and tend to them immediately, don't let it wait, then you're looking at somebody who probably has a clean car. And that might be an interesting way to just give yourself a little intel there as you get to know this person better and figure out where they fall in this category. I would put myself in this category for sure, except for one thing that's been happening lately here. Somebody who is high in conscientiousness typically does their dishes right away. That's a trait that would go along with this quality hand in hand. And lately, I've not been so great at that. I will put things in the sink after dinner, planning on doing it in the evening, and it's time for bed, and I look at it, and I'm like, I don't feel like starting this now. I'll put them in the dishwasher in the morning while I'm making coffee. So while I feel I'm conscientious, I don't know that somebody who showed up in the early morning would agree with me. Anyway, it's nice to be with somebody who doesn't blow things off and gives them care. You can see how that would translate into being a desirable trait in a partner. And especially if you're more of a Felix than an Oscar, you're definitely going to want somebody in that category. And you probably, if you're a go-getter, want somebody who wants to go out and do stuff too, somebody who's not a downer, somebody who has good mental health and looks at things in a positive light. All of these things together make somebody who's very desirable to other people. And if you have all 4 of them, people want to date you. You've got it all covered. So let me know down below how many of the 4 are in your wheelhouse. How many do you possess of these 4 most desirable traits to make people want you? Let me know. Appreciate you stopping by today. I hope you found that interesting. And if you did, Mom's suggesting maybe a thumbs up would be appropriate. I think that would be very thoughtful of you. I would appreciate it. And then I hope you'll subscribe to the channel because it really helps me out a lot. as does hitting that ring bell so that you're notified every time a new episode goes live. Appreciate you stopping by today, and I'll look forward to next time. Until then, have a good one.